So, I love Pokemon. I think that's pretty obvious about my new Nuzlocke series, which, by the way, if you haven't, you should check it out. I'll put a link in the description down below to the playlist. Anyways, I mentioned before that I would like to do a top 10 Pokemon list of mine. There's so many cool ones now, especially that there's 10,000, so 10, I mean, shouldn't be too hard. So that's what I want this to be, but before we get started, I want to go over some of my honorable mentions. But we're going to do it in like a lightning style round, so let's do that really quick. So first we got Wooper. It's a very cute little Pokemon. It's blue, it's small, and it's derpy looking. I love it. Ditto, similar to Thane, it's a very cute, small looking Pokemon, very derpy, awesome. Regigigas, a absolute god that moved the continents, and is a massive, bulking beast and the king of the Regis. Cool. Garchomp, an awesome dragon Pokemon. Cynthia's Garchomp was absolutely amazing to fight and whatever. It's just a really cool Pokemon, especially in the anime. Gyarados, a giant, large serpent dragon thing that should totally be a dragon type, but it's just awesome and very powerful, and especially you get the free red shiny Gyarados in gold, awesome. Umbreon, just one of the coolest evolutions ever, very tanky, very bulky, and just very fun to use. Arcanine, supposed to be a legendary Pokemon, it's literally called the legendary Pokemon in its Pokedex, but it's like the highest base stats little Pokemon it was at some point that wasn't a legendary or slacking. Awesome. Talonflame, a really cool fire flying type that was just very powerful, very strong back in Gen 6. Cool. Aerodactyl, just a cool fossil Pokemon similar to Kabutops, another cool fossil Pokemon. I really like these early fossil Pokemon, they're a lot of fun. Nidoking, Aggron, and Tyranitar just remind me of like massive beasts. I would put Rhydon in there, but I didn't use it as much as these three. They were just really cool and a lot of fun to use. And finally, Megalodios, for the sole purpose of flying around Megalodios in Oris. That was a lot of fun. Alright, but now without further ado, let's get into my actual top 10. Mewtwo is my top 10 Pokemon. It's my 10th. The ultimate battle Pokemon, built for destruction, built for battle by humans. From Mew, the creator that has all the DNA of Pokemon. Awesome. It was just such a cool Pokemon way back when in Gen 1 and even now. It has the highest base stat total in the game with Mega Evolve tied with Rayquaza. And if we look past Eternamax, Eternatus, which you can't even use, so whatever, it was just the ultimate battle Pokemon. Back in Gen 1, completely broken with no weaknesses. Beedrill's Twin Needle was your best bet, and it was a poison type weak to it. It was immune to ghosts. There's no such thing as dark types, no such thing as steel types to resist it. Nothing could resist this monstrosity. It was absolutely amazing. That even way back in Pokemon Stadium 1, it was the final boss of the game, going against one level 100 broken Mewtwo. It was so cool, so much fun, especially in the lore, having destroyed humans and taking control of this island, making a Dragonite its messenger. If you have a Dragonite as your messenger, that's awesome. But I don't know, Mewtwo is just so cool. And then on top of that, it appeared in Smash Bros. Melee. Makes sense. I mean, you want a massive ultimate battle Pokemon as something to fight against. Cool. And of course, I never grew up playing Melee, but when I got myself a copy, and of course being an ultimate, Mewtwo is just so much fun to use and play. And still, it is just super cool. It looks cool, it sounds cool, and it battles cool. Mewtwo, like its name implies, is the ultimate battle Pokemon, built for battle. That's my number 10. Diglett is my number 9. This thing is so cute, a little mole. Oh man, I love Diglett so much, especially with the lore around Diglett. What is beneath Diglett, and by extension, 3 Digletts or Dugtrio? Is it Brock's hand? Is it something else? Nobody knows, but that's okay, because it's so cute and so cool. I like Diglett from the moment, it was definitely one of my favorite Pokemon, maybe my favorite Pokemon as a kid, and growing up it still is in my top 10. It's just so cool looking and such a mystery. I don't know, I've always liked Diglett. It's a cool type. It's really broken in Gen 1 too, with its main move being Dig, of course, having the same strength as Earthquake. It was powerful. It's why I really wanted one in the Nuzlocke that we're doing, and it sucks that I couldn't get one because I got a perfect name for it. But that doesn't matter. Diglett is just so cute, so cool, and it gets my number 9 spot. Melmetal. Okay, now maybe I did say we didn't have any more legendary Pokemon, but this is technically a mythical, a subsection legendary. Whatever, it's cool. And now you can actually use it in the VGC metagame. I know practically nothing about competitive Pokemon. I think I could take down your average player who just plays the game. I think I could take them down. But going against like a massive professional player, I got no chance. But I like to follow competitive play, and knowing how broken Melmetal is with its insane stats, and of course being a steel type, it would probably destroy. Not to mention the fact how hard it is just to get in a normal playthrough game if you want to use one. You have to have Pokemon Go, you have to have a Switch, you have to have Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu, and then for half an hour each week, not even a day, each week, you get a chance to catch as many Meltans as you can, and then you can get a total of 7 Meltan candies, 1 from trading it in, and 6 from capturing it with a specific berry to get more candy. And even then, you have to get 400 candy to evolve it to Melmetal, and then transfer it to Pokemon Home or whatever it is, Pokemon Bank, and then transfer it to the game you want to use it on. It's this whole process, and I did it. Here's my Melmetal. Not to flex or anything, but I don't know. I went out of my way to get a Melmetal. This thing is awesome. It's a lot of fun to use. I've never actually used it in a playthrough battle, but just the urge to get one, how much you have to go through to get one, absolutely makes it have my top spot, number 8. Dragonite, the very first pseudo-legendary Pokemon that sucked. Man, I used one in both my Pokemon Red and Yellow teams, but it sucks because there was no Dragon-type moves. But then we get to Gen 2, and this thing is awesome. Being one of 2 fully evolved Dragon-type Pokemon, Kindred was pretty good, but Dragonite with extreme speed, Outrage if you wanted, Dragon Breath, whatever, of course you use Outrage, like whatever, Fly, all different sorts of moves, and of course its main move, not a Dragon-type move, but still the main move you might know Dragonite for, Hyper Beam. Absolutely decimating foes using stuff. I mean, we see Ash's Pikachu tank a Hyper Beam, I believe, if I remember the Orange Islands way back when, if I can remember correctly. I could be wrong about that. And then it defeated a Dragonite, but it doesn't matter. Dragonite is super powerful, really cool Pokemon. It looks cool. It sucks that Game Freak hasn't given it a lot of love recently. It never got a Mega, it never got a Gigantamax, nothing. It's never gotten anything, no regional variants, but man, it is still a really cool Pokemon, and it's a dragon. I love dragons, hence my channel name. So yeah, Dragonite gets my 7th spot. Coming in at number 6, we got Cyclizar, one of the coolest Gen 9 Pokemon that I absolutely love. I mentioned how I like following the competitive scene. I don't play it too much, but I did try and play like online back during when Gen 9 first came out, and I used Cyclizar to wipe 4 or 5 people, and then I never played again because I was satisfied with that. How I did it was, Shift Gear to boost my stats, using a Toxic Orb boosted Facade with the normal Terrestrialized, whatever the heck it's called. That got me to wipe all 6 Pokemon for like 4 or 5 games in a row, and then I never used it again. I wiped the Champions team with this Pokemon. It was absolutely nutty. Stack on top 2 mean abilities, Regenerator, where if you switch out with the one Shed Tail move, then you heal a bunch of health, or the Shed Skin ability, which is why I used the Toxic Orb, which is after I would attack, there's a third of a chance that it would just remove my bad poison, resetting it, which helped a ton. I don't know. I really thought this Pokemon was really cool. I still really like it. It definitely dropped from, I think I would have had it in my top 5, but I haven't played Gen 9 in a bit, so it's definitely just here at below at number 6. But it's such a cool Pokemon. It looks really cool. And again, I just have nostalgia during my Gen 9 days because of how powerful it was. But yeah, Cyclizar coming in at number 6. Gengar, the original Ghost-type Pokemon. The only fully evolved Ghost-type Pokemon in Gen 1, and then in Gen 2, there was, just like Dragon-type, only 2, Gengar and Misdreavus. But this Pokemon is awesome. Super spooky in how it, doesn't kill Ash directly, but, it tours Ash's ghost around back in the, Season 1 of the Indigo League. That was really cool. It's just a really powerful Pokemon, getting that Gigantamax form, and of course, getting a Mega form, which it was then playable with its normal form and its Mega form in the really underrated game Pokken Tournament. That was really cool. I don't know, seeing be able to use it, that was a lot of fun. And of course, its Ghost Trap ability, or Shadow Tag, or whatever the heck it's called, really, really powerful move with Parasan. Awesome Pokemon. I don't know. Gengar is just a lot of fun. It looks cool. The lore behind it being maybe a dead Clefable. Of course, it looks like Clefable, though that's a little hint. But I've always also found that to be quite intriguing. But Gengar takes my top 5th spot. If you haven't been keeping up with my Pokemon Nuzlocke, I've said before, I love Onyx. And Onyx is my 4th favorite Pokemon. It looks so menacing, so cool. I've used Onyx before, of course evolving into a Steelix because Steelix is stronger, but I caught a shiny Onyx, which is probably a big bias towards why I like the Pokemon so much. It was my second time ever in the wild area, way back when Pokemon Sword came out. I go up to this Onyx, I was like, man, an Onyx, I would love to use one. You know, evolved into a Steelix. I encounter it, I didn't encounter anything else. My very first encounter, my second time in the wild area, and boom, it was a shiny Onyx, just like that, full-on shiny. It was awesome, a beautiful yellow color, and then of course evolving into the Steelix Gold, whatever. But I've always liked Onyx because it came out first and it looks so menacing. Just a giant rock snake. Of course, it's memed on. Its attack stat is lower than that of a Pidgey, which sucks, I know. But still, Onyx is just really cool and really fun to use. I don't know, it just looks awesome. It looks visually appealing. A giant rock snake. It looks intimidating. What more could you want? And that's my fourth spot. Charizard takes the top 3. I mean, it's Game Freak's golden child getting a Mega Form, well, 2 Mega Forms, a Gigantamax form, all sorts of crazy stuff. It was then released into Smash Brothers with, you know, Bulbasaur and Ivysaur, and then just becoming a playable character itself in Smash 4, being a playable character in the Pokken Tournament game. What more could you want? This, and it's a dragon. Yes, it doesn't have the dragon type. Obviously, that would make a starter completely overpowered, but it was still having the highest base stat total of the 3 starters way back when, even now, the original 3. It has the highest base stat total, and, I mean, that makes sense. It's a fire-breathing dragon, one of the first starters. It's powerful, it's awesome, and Charizard, well, like I said, is Game Freak's golden child. It's also mine, claiming the top 3 in my list. At my second spot, we have Jolteon. Jolteon was my favorite Pokemon for the longest time, but now has fallen down a peg to my second spot, but I still absolutely love it. I don't know, just a very powerful Pokemon, especially in Gen 1, because it's one of the Pokemon that gets a Bug-type move, and while Bug isn't very strong, with its good enough special attack, and, you know, Alakazam being around and Mewtwo being around, it is arguably one of the only big things that can do damage to Sabrina's gym, and whatever. Again, it's not a very good Bug-type move that it has, Pin Missile, but again, very, very solid nonetheless. And I don't know, it looks cool. It's an Electric Fox with quills, very, very cool. Very, very powerful with Thunderbolt, also it's a very high crit chance in Gen 1. I don't know, I've always used it as my evolution. I've always picked Jolteon over everything else. And I think its stats speak for itself when I show, you know, your speed and whatnot being that high, like one of the highest speeds in the game overall still. Absolutely insane. Jolteon is my second favorite Pokemon, and it's still awesome. And what's this? Exact same clip as the first one? What was the other Pokemon in this clip? Well, it's none other than my favorite Pokemon, Heracross. The best, awesome bug type there is. Wow. I mean, it was the very first bug type Pokemon that was good to get a good bug type move, that being Mega Horn. Fury Cutter doesn't count for Scyther. Get out of here. Make way for Heracross, a bug fighting type that absolutely destroys everything in its path. I mean, it's great, and of course now it gets a close combat and Brick Break, but back then, running a Rest, Sleep, Talk, Earthquake, Mega Horn, Heracross for my ace in gold was crazy. It allowed me to deal with so many threats, especially the Psychic type still being awesome up there, but nothing could stop Heracross. Or, of course, those new pesky Dark types, especially Houndoom Fire type, doesn't matter, you just outspeed with either Earthquake or a good enough Mega Horn, stab Mega Horn anyways, to take it down, put on a Focus Dash, whatever. And then in Gen 6, my favorite bug type got even more love, and it got a Mega Form, making its monstrous attack even better. I mean, already it's base 125, I believe, attack right here, very good, but then going super, super high for its Mega Form, it was insane. I don't know about you, but it's just a simple beetle that's super powerful and just looks really cool. Its typing is very cool. I've always loved its bug fighting. I don't know, but nothing will compare to Heracross. It is my favorite Pokemon of all time. But with that, I hope you guys did enjoy my top 10 Pokemon. This was my list. I had some honorable mentions at the start as well. I don't know about you, but I love Pokemon, and I love sharing with all of you guys what my favorite Pokemon were. I might do something like this again, but maybe vote my favorite Pokemon for each type. That would be interesting to see. Or maybe I might do my top 10 least favorite Pokemon. Who knows? But yeah, I'll probably do something like this again in the future, but I hope you guys did enjoy nonetheless. Maybe leave a like, maybe leave a nice comment down below, maybe hit that subscribe button, but dang that little bell, and I'll see you guys next time for another ranking video. Bye, guys.